The silence, and Vice Mayor, if you'll lead us in the pledge.
I had a mishap today. Sorry about that later.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What are we doing first?
The meeting.
Thank you.
Grizzly bear? No, bear, like skin. I was working with acid and some got on my hands.
Agenda review.
Looks good, sir. Thank you.
Good, thank you.
Looks good?
Good.
No changes.
I assume we're good. Public comment. If there's anybody in the audience want to speak on anything that's not on the agenda, please come forth at this time. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, and guests of here of the city of Minneola. Today I'll give you a brief legislative update as usual, and then I have a tree replacement question. So SB 1334, which was the Senate version of the election integrity, was laid on the table, which means it's going to go no further, but it refers to HB 991, which I believe that then will go into law. And that was passed by the House 77 to 28 nays. Why was this bill important, especially to me? It puts us, we the people, in control of who we get out and vote for. It's our candidates and not the lobbyists and the PACs. Did it close all the loopholes? No, it did not. But it is a start. The other bill that I know the council was interested in because of Trailhead Park was the e-bikes. The Senate Bill 382, it passed, and it is with 10 miles per hour. They have to slow down to within 50 feet of a pedestrian. And any class 3, which is if it goes over 28 miles per hour, they have to have a learner's permit or a driver's license. So there's a few more details in there, but they have to have an audible signal before overtaking a pedestrian. So just wanted you to be aware of that.
That's e-bikes on trails or e-bikes on roads or e-bikes anywhere?
On any trail or pedestrian walkway. Doesn't say anything about streets, so I don't know. We'll have to dig into that. On tree replacements, I know a lot of HOAs are after their homeowners to get their trees replaced by July, but they said they will not, the HOA ARBs or whatever they're called, can't jurisdict it. They have to go to the city of Minneola and get a tree permit. And some residents, homeowners are complaining that there's a fee for that, and was wondering if the city might waive the fee for trees that were damaged that need to be replaced due to the severe weather we had. I didn't know if the council was looking at that.
We waive the fees for tree, we have always waived fees for tree replacements.
Okay,
For
perfect.
for damaged trees, yeah.
Okay, great. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I'm gonna have to pull 2 of those permits.
Farmer Banks Helfrich. I live in the Clay Road District, South Lake County. Farm tip of the day, it is March and it's ready to put in your spring crops such as beans, peas, watermelons, cucumbers, squashes, and then of course the perennials, eggplants, and peppers. Mayor, council, distinguished guests, the ways and means of bringing products and services to customers by corporations, businesses, and entrepreneurs is capitalism. Capitalism is what has sparked the American dream. Those of us that are grown up here in the United States, and even those of us from other countries who migrate here and become citizens, find that the American dream is sparked by capitalism. Capitalism, we can grow wealth from it. From that wealth, we can spend it however we like. On cars, on homes, on motorcycles. We can invest it in crypto, gold, silver, the stock market, to name a few. However, the one thing that money does not buy, as the adage says, money does not buy happiness. Actually love, but in this case, happiness. It doesn't. Psychologists have found that happiness comes from the connections we have with each other, connections we have with our dogs, our pets, and connections we have with Earth. I can relate to that. How do we get this happiness? Through service. You all on the dais are representing this community. You are servicing this community. Men and women of the cloth service their flock. Also, people in the military support our Constitution and our country, and that is through service. Before service comes showing up, because when we show up, we show that we care, but more than that, it creates connections. These connections build relationships. These relationships form bonds, form communities, and these communities create trust. The trust that we have in our institutions, such as this one that I'm standing in right now, education, the government. When we have trust in these institutions, we find that happiness comes very quickly after that. So you might ask yourself, Banks, why do you once a month come and speak to council? You all aren't special because I do 6 other city councils, I do 1 school board, and do 1 county commission meeting. However, I come because I'm here to show up. On Thanksgiving, I ladled gravy at the Citrus Tower to show up. I show up for ribbon cuttings and groundbreaking events. I show up for after-hours events. I show up for the nativity pageant at Woodlands Church, because not only because I care, but because you all, Minneola, Montverde, Astatula, matter. I am Farmer Banks Helfrich. May you all be blessed. Candidate for State House, advocate for Southlake. May you all be blessed. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you.
Thanks. When you say it's time to put in, do you actually mean put the seeds in the ground? Is that?
Yep.
Oh,
Seeds or plants.
Or the
Yeah, you can buy the little plants. They have them for sale at Lowe's.
Okay.
Yep.
It also means you can go to Publix in 6 weeks from now and get them,
Oh, okay.
it's a good baseline. Anyone else? Okay, bringing it back. Do you have any project updates? Do you have any questions on any of the projects?
No, I think one of the ones.
No, we have it on
Yeah,
the
with the
CRA.
CRA,
We'll cover
correct. No, I think I'm good. I need to update my notes so we can skip it for
Okay,
this.
that's
Unless any other council members have any other projects that they want to bring up, I'll bring it up next meeting.
That's fine. Okay.
Mark, any quick updates you want to give?
On the projects?
No.
Okay. You lost a bit quick. Okay. City manager consent agenda.
Make 'em- go ahead, sorry.
I do want to, before we do that, I don't want to pull it, but I would like to make a comment on item 3, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
You've done a lot of great work on it. I talked to Mark about it. Would like to add something to it. It's not a big expense, but it came up, and I do the Leadership Lake thing, and we were going to do our projects this year, and somebody was coming up with a project, and I'm trying to save money for that. They had a death at a park in the north end of the county because they didn't have defibrillators at the parks. Can you make sure in this project that if you're going to put a bunch of old people out on pickleball courts, we probably should have defibrillators
Yeah, that is a good, it's a
out there. So
very
I
good
think the part of
point.
just add, when you do the enhancements, make sure that it's wired. Mark said it's a great idea, but we need to make sure that they get secured and somebody doesn't steal them and stuff like that. But I think the defibrillators.
No, I
We've
agree.
never really talked about them, but I don't know, I'm not saying where to put them, but on that, when, in your project approving this, hence having some type of defibrillators out
Yeah.
there.
I think so. It's a good idea.
Yeah, just something to,
Shock them back to life.
yeah, I think everybody has cell phones, so you don't need to worry about a 911 phone, but
Right. But, yeah.
unless they have an app for a defibrillator app.
On their cell phone.
Give me 2 copper cables and an outlet, I can make one.
So, yeah, if you can add that, that would be great.
Yep.
So, but I don't think it should stop anything. Any other comments, concerns? Anybody in the audience, any comments on the consent agenda? bring it back to council. Can I get a motion for approval?
So moved?
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
First and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Discussion items, actions, municipal taxing unit.
Ordinance 2025-26-04 on first reading, in order to the City Council of the City of Minneola, Florida, consenting to remain within the countywide municipal service taxing unit for ambulance and emergency medical services, providing for a one-year extension, providing for an effective date. You've seen this movie before. I think this has been about our 15th year or so in the MSTU. But to remain in it, the council has to grant its consent. We do these on a year-by-year basis, so. This is first reading tonight. We'll plan on having second reading at the next meeting.
Item number 6.
It is a public thing. unless-
Anybody in the audience want to speak on this? Yeah, item number 6.
Good evening.
Good evening.
You have in your package a proposal for a grant program to help small businesses out in the downtown CRA with some of the CRA money. I went, talked to the state CRA agency and got some help from them, and also looked at several cities in the area to see what kind of programs they have to kind of put together a proposal for you guys. The package you have proposes grants of up to $5,000 per property, as long as the owner kicks in a 50% of it. You can make a special approval for more than $5,000 for special circumstances. The requirements would be for external, not for internal renovations, but for external renovations or improvements other than landscaping. So, for instance, if people need to do something to their building to make it conforming, or they have a non-conforming sign and they want to take it down and they want to put a conforming sign in, or they have a parking lot that's in bad shape and it needs some improvements, and maybe it has a cross-access with other properties. So these would be the kind of things. So the person, one of the key things is they need to apply for it before they do the work. If they've already done the work, then it's not reimbursable. So they need to keep their receipts. They can't get reimbursed for any of the work they do themselves. So it's any of the materials they buy and any of the contracted work they have done up to that amount for 50%. And they would turn in their receipts afterwards. We would confirm that, and then we would inspect it, make sure it passes code, any building code requirements, and then they would be reimbursed after that. So this would be really a good program, because this would help out small businesses, which is part of the purpose of the CRA. It would bring up property values, and it would just make the whole area look better, so that would bring the whole value of the CRA in general up.
I have a couple of questions, I
Sure.
guess, for you, Scott, or for somebody.
Scott?
Does it have to be a matching grant?
Doesn't have to be.
Yeah, because some of them are just needs to get done. You made a comment on landscaping. The concern I have on the landscaping one, and I'm not saying that we should pay to get people landscape job, but there are a lot of businesses here that have dead trees that they've removed, and there's just like a big stump sitting there. I think some of that stuff should be considered, because people aren't gonna, they'll take the tree down, but the stump removal is out there. So I'm thinking, I'm not sure how that works out, but stuff like that.
We could change the wording to maybe put the landscaping, like restore landscaping that's died or whatever, so it meets code.
I know, like, 7-Eleven got killed with a bunch of, hit with that. When you go with the 50% match piece, I think a lot of the businesses don't even want to spend the 50%. I mean, 7-Eleven, that tree stump's there, it needs to get its walls painted, at least a color. I think those kind of are covered underneath here. I know Little Anthony's has a sign that probably needs to go away. It's just a post sign that's just sitting there. Those two big stupid poles that kind of started the whole thing at the U-Haul dealership, needs to get cleaned up. So, you know, they haven't done that. They haven't moved those poles in 25 years. So incentivizing him like, oh, if you pay for half of it, $1,000, Marquis doesn't really care. But it's more about looking for the beautification of the city. I think it's the spirit of how we do this. So, you know, I think there is a point here where it's I don't know if you come to council and you say, what is the number you're going to give, or, I mean, some of them.
Well, there's an application, so y'all would need to review it and
Right,
approve that application.
I'm just
before
saying
the
there's a
money.
point here, how do you do that? And then how about some of the people who want to do some really nice things? And I'm going to use an example for the exterior side of it, is we have the car lot there that's getting redone next to, used to be next to the antique shop or the, you know, stuff like that. If they're doing exterior work, can we grant them to, like, pay to? Because I remember, if you remember, what that electrical building used to look like 20 years ago, and it looks a whole lot cleaner now, but, you know, if somebody buys something like that and redoes it and refurbishes it, grant money, limited fine, could it be more? And then there's a part of loans or stuff like that. But I think it's a great program, but I think there's some of the smaller projects that would just have a lot of kick if you just kicked into it, you know.
So to clarify, you want to include landscaping and then also,
Not new landscaping, removal of.
Stumps.
Yeah, I would say,
I'm just saying, you can be
Yeah.
very specific. You can remove stumps.
yeah, for stumps.
okay,
You know, stumps,
But not landscaping like
not landscaping
facade
replacement.
and,
No,
yeah,
none
and
of that.
trees
I'm
and
just
palm
talking,
trees,
let's-
yeah.
Stumps.
More of the restoration type thing of,
Yes.
of like trees and things like that.
yeah,
Then-
because some of them, and some of it is just, is not being done, because I know Nathan cut down a tree behind Little Anthony's.
Yeah, it's a big stump that's back there.
Yeah, and I mean, that would be like, the stump needs to go away.
Yep.
Just, but why, if you're a small business, those are things I'm thinking of, stuff like that. There's a bunch of stumps that are along 27 that could just get cleaned, or an old there. And when a storm comes, we'll get more stumps.
And for now, you want to do no match up to 5,000, anything over that, it'll be,
Yeah, that's fine.
Special
Yeah,
approval.
anything over
I'm
that.
fine
would-
I'm fine with no match under, over 3,000.
I know, I would do no match for 5, anything over 5 would be council approval.
Match
Special
up to
approval.
5, and then after 5, it's a,
You're fine with that?
Mhm.
I'm fine with that.
Yep.
okay.
Is there an annual cap of what you're gonna have on this?
I would say they can apply for one a year, or one every 5 years, or whatever.
Right, but, I mean,
It's a bank, it's a bucket, 60,000, 70,000, 100,000.
I'd say the cap is 5, and then anything above that, they got to get special approval.
No, I think he's saying total.
Okay.
It's like,
Oh,
like
total
what's
project.
allocated to this.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you meant per project. We, probably 200,000.
that's fine. I'm fine with that. I just wanna make sure that,
Just, I want to make sure it wasn't 10,000, and that's it.
Right.
or like 7,500.
Or so, yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, it's just any removal of, and you gotta be careful on the removal of, because then all of a sudden you become storm debris. What I don't want it to be is somebody comes and cuts down a bunch of limbs, and you have some guy who brings his grapple truck there and moves that. I think it's just very specific to
No,
stump removal.
I would say, yeah, removal, stump
It's
removal.
Stump removal, that's it.
This is also too for small businesses, so it's not for things like racetrack, where it's a big corporate business. This is for
Yes.
small local businesses that need the help to get their businesses.
How do you define that, Scott?
Yeah, because I think the 7-Eleven's a franchise that's owned by someone.
Well, and also you said downtown CRA is small businesses, right? So downtown would put them in a different classification than the 7-Eleven or U-Haul. Because the downtown CRA is small business improvement, so anything downtown.
But the franchise, there's a difference between corporate-owned and franchise-owned.
Correct.
So 7-Eleven is, they have,
Franchise.
it's owned by an individual. He owns 2 of them. And then 7-Eleven is, that's not a U-Haul franchise, that's a
Yes.
franchise.
7-Eleven is not maintained by corporate, it's the franchisee,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I agree with you, and we just need to make sure that it's not. So, yeah, I'm fine with it if, with the changes that we discussed.
I think it's great.
But Joe, you have any questions?
Thank you,
No, I'm fine with it.
thank you.
Good? Debbie?
Good,
Yeah.
excellent. I think it was a great idea, Joyce.
Okay. Bring it
Can we socialize it on social media so everybody knows?
Sure.
tattoo it on your
We
forehead.
already have about 7 or 8 places that are interested in it, so.
Right, right.
So, okay.
And then once it's done, can we have a picture taken of the area and then again, just post it on social media so we can advertise it?
And if there's any businesses that you see out there that might need something, they don't know about it, feel free to knock on the door.
Okay.
The things that aren't available is unfortunately like the Sunoco, maybe there's something we can help them with. They've done a really nice job with that building. But we can't do anything, to Joyce's point, that's already been funded. But if they've got parking lot improvements or something like that they haven't done, then maybe there's something we can do with that.
The majority of interest we've gotten are in signs. We probably 4 out of the 7 want to do signs.
Okay, cool. On the signs, we're replacing signs with new signs?
Yes.
Me too.
Okay. Sounds good. Chester Street Community Garden, any comments on that one? Sorry, Jeff.
Evening, Jennifer Morris, 1064 Golden Dawn Loop. Just a couple questions. Do we know how many, I know you guys just talked about franchises, but how many small businesses we have in the CRA downtown?
Not from memory, but we can certainly gather that
Is
data.
it like 5 or 500 or 50?
50 to 100.
Okay, got it.
50 to
More than
100,
you
I would
think,
say.
yeah.
I'll say more than 5, less than 500.
And then, just a quick question, because I know we were talking about the road, like driveway improvements or parking lot improvements. Are we incentivizing these people to have the city pay for things that they should be paying for because they're out of ordinance, that we would normally be a violation?
I think the spirit of it is, there's 2 specific ones I can talk on that are just, you have businesses that manage to make it, and I've been here for a while. I think when Cafe Bandoli was there, that was 20, you were in high school. You were
I
not
was
even
in
born.
elementary school.
This was a long time ago. The parking lot is the same, and if you redid the parking lot and not paying for us to do it, but some type of grant where we loan them the money and they pay us back the money. So it's not just a grant, there's actually a loan portion of this.
Oh, okay. So
So-
we're not just giving.
Yeah,
them
so we're not
10,000.
giving, we're not incentivizing them to, we're not building a parking lot for Cafe Bandoli, but they're trying to get up and going. Can we do a loan with them with the understanding, and this is where the attorney comes in, and we've had a lot of discussions where you help them get the parking lot redone. There's a grant a loan that we give them with the understanding that they have to they can't come to us to get to improve their property value and then sell their property. They actually have to pay us back over a period of time. So you depreciate the parking lot like over 10 years. So we do the parking lot, you hold on to this asset for 10 years. After 10 years, you can sell it, but if you sell it less than 10 years, then a percentage of what we pay to get the parking lot done, you have to pay us back out of the proceeds.
Okay.
So does that make sense?
Yeah, but
So-
like with the stump removal, are you loaning them?
No, the stump
money to do
removal
that,
is
or
only
you're
a
just gonna
couple
do that?
$1,000.
Okay.
It's just kind
Yeah.
of just to clean those things up.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm good, thank you.
And the caveat to that, if they offer other things to, for example, that example, if they provide easements, get rid of the billboard, get rid of the on-street parking at Washington, you know. we
Yeah,
could-
there's a lot of things that
Yeah,
we
there
can,
might be something, y'all look at something a little different for that.
It's something I just thought of. Can we make a caveat that if you own a small business out of your house, that does not count?
No, nor expanding, like we wouldn't pay for additions or
Correct.
things like that.
Commercial, okay,
Okay,
perfect.
good.
Yeah, because we don't want, small business owners saying, oh, I need a new driveway for my house, for my hairdressing.
or we don't want to pay to enclose their garage.
Yeah,
Good point.
Not that we do that here. That's a South Florida thing.
100% it is.
Okay. So I think we're good. Did we do a motion, a second motion? We good?
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and you can do a
Can I get
motion.
a-
I think they're going to tweak the program, and you're going to be seeing this on the CRA agenda as well, but it doesn't hurt to go ahead and have a motion.
Can I get a motion to approve
I'll make a motion to approve
with discussed,
As discussed.
as
as
discussed?
discussed, item
With-
6,
Adding stump removal.
In,
and adding the stump grind.
in a second, can I get a second?
I'll second.
For a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Chester Street Community Garden.
So there, Inspire has made the changes that they verbally were talking about last time, and now they've made them. I'll let them come up and point them out, but this drawing actually reflects the discussion items that were made at the planning and zoning meeting and that they brought up last time to see if you guys want them to do it. So they've actually made them, and I'll let them come up and explain it. Thanks, Jake.
Good afternoon. My name is Jacob, and I'm with Inspire. So this is as Joyce said, this is the second or third iteration of this plan overall. But I'm just going to go ahead and go over all of the listed items here on the plan and walk you through it just real quick. So as we start at the top with number 1, we have the existing entry signage with new landscape that'll surround that new entry signage of the community garden. Then we have number 2 so number 2 is the paved parking, and with 3 instead of 4 that we had previously parking spaces and 1 ADA parking space. In between the ADA space and the traditional parking is one of the several entries that we have, which is number 17 on the plan. Also next to number 17 is we've noted that there is educational signage at the entry with full ADA capability, including Braille, colors, and fonts. Moving down, we kept the additional unpaved parking at number 3, fixed in place with parking stops as noted to keep cars organized. Moving into the site at number 4, we've got 2 ADA planters that are on the reused commercially installed pavers that they should not have any ADA access issues. At number 5, we've got a smaller covered seating area that can fit 1 table and 2 chairs that will provide a fully ADA compliant, that will also provide fully ADA compliant signage for a space that can be rented within the community. As we move into the garden, at number 6, there's 1 300-gallon water holding tank in this area. We've left ample space for additional tanks to be added as the community seems necessary. Since our last design iteration and meetings with the council, we've decided to keep the existing storage shed at number 16, but also construct a new storage shed at number 7. This storage shed will be similar into construction as the previous shed that we've presented, which is basically a wood post with wood slats facade that should be pretty cost effective as it terms to a complete metal shed that's already on site. At number 8, We have kept the medium planters with a trellis as along with the kitty experiment beds. At number 10, we've kept the compost storage with the same design, but a modification of critter-resistant linings, as noted from city staff, along with the linings around the perimeter fence of the entire community garden that will be critter-resistant. On number 11, this shows all the number 11s on the plan indicate paid entry points for the garden spaces. So I would like to also note that an additional path has been included now at number 15. So this is the path from the existing shed into the community garden directly, so there's no turns. And you also have an access straight into that paid community garden area as well. Number 12 shows our existing garden rows with a uniform. We're going to call out a 2 by 8 inch pressure treated bed edge around all the paid garden spaces to provide a clean edge around all of the rows. And lastly, number 13 showcases the pollinator garden with garden access to the end. This also provides the requested putback of the memorial bench, as it should have clear and no obstructed views as requested by the residents. And I believe that covers all of the changes that were requested. Thanks.
Thank you.
Anybody in the audience have any comments, concerns, feedback?
Jennifer Morse, 1064 Golden Don Loop. Question for number 7, how big is the shed?
It's
Sure.
so right now we're calling out the shed. It's 10 by 7.
Did we consider the shed and the canopy over all the garden beds of how the shade is going to?
Yeah, we did.
Impact
There
it?
shouldn't be any impact with how tall that shed is.
Won't it at some point create shade somewhere?
It will create shade, but not enough to drastically decrease the livability of the plant material that's there.
Can you, okay, I would love more information on that because, more detailed information on that. Because if you put a huge shed right in the middle of a garden, you're gonna have shade. So I don't know how the sun, I don't know northeast, southwest on what's going on, but that's my concern. The other concern is the 11. Are we really restricting access to those garden beds just for paid?
It's not so
People?
much of a restricted access.
Can you come up to the mic, please?
It's not so much of a restricted access, it's more of just a boundary to keep, so just say hey, here, these are where the paid spaces are. You can, there's no lock, there's no, it's just a defining edge to make sure, if you have a bunch of kids there and you're in the unpaid spaces, that way they're not running and trampling over or taking anything.
Tagging out?
So you're saying that it won't be locked and anyone can go in there?
In the paid spaces, just inside the perimeter of the community garden, yes.
So inside 11 and 12, you're saying the gate access, anyone can open the gate and go in there?
Yes.
Okay, all right, because my concern was that we're trying to create a community space, and I would hate that we would be restricting anyone's access to view beautiful gardens and feel inclusive in a free community space. So those are my 2 concerns. Thank you.
Cheryl Pavlak at 1808 Cary Street. Just for clarification, we still are going to have the 10 paid spaces. So if I bought 2, those 2 would be mine to garden in, and no one else could go in unless somebody steals, go in and walk through there and trample it. And that's the reason we asked for the restricted access, if you will, which is sort of passive, but people, if they want to look at the gardens, can do it from the perimeter. It's not that big of a space. I've been there recently. And then in the other areas, that's for them to do their experimental and their kitty gardening. Am I correct? Is that? Yes. And I want to thank Inspire for making those changes, especially for the ADA from the existing shed to the other. And I am not as concerned as Jennifer is, because knowing Chester Street goes east and west, north and south is, so that shed, number 7, is parallel to Chester Street, which is east and west. So therefore, that means the sun's gonna go over it, and it's very little shade's gonna be hitting it. And I know that based on where my house is placed and how little shade I get most of the day from the house. Thank you.
I think that my feedback on it is with the shade, and I understand the concerns, is if you, instead of, depending on how you build the roof, as long as you build the roof in such a way that it slants back and it's not a typical barn 20-foot high to
Right.
block the shades, if you keep it to a 10-9 with a slope of 4 to 1 on that one, if it's only 7 foot wide, you can do a 4 to 1 slope off of it. And that coming down. But yeah, I think it looks good. I think it'd be great. Any other feedback, concerns? Good.
Kelly Price, 327 East Chester Street. Good evening, council and visitors. I would just like to request, if possible, the signage around the entrances to please ask that visitors refrain from touching or in any way obstructing with anything that are in the private rented plots. That's all, because we've seen many things happen through the years, and people like to help themselves to, you know, some of the ornaments as well as, you know, the fruits and so forth. Okay,
Good.
thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, what do we need?
Wait, Jennifer's coming up.
Oh, sorry.
I just want for this to be on record that I know some of us were very involved in the community garden revamp, and I am just very concerned how blown out of proportion this project has become. To me, it's unnecessary. No one uses the garden. There's 2 people. When we even tried to get the garden beds, no one rented the garden beds. 2 sheds seems very unnecessary. With the, like, all of this seems just like a waste of money for it just to become weeds again. So I just want to put that out there as to why we're doing this. Thank you.
Thank you. Bring it back to council for any comments, and we just need a motion, then we're done. We're gonna see this again, or?
Yes, I think you'll just be approving the concept plan, and then they'll go back and get pricing and things like that and bring it back. But for now, just that you're
Okay.
okay with the plan.
That's fine. Anybody question on the concept plan? If so, can I get a motion to approve? And then we'll have a discussion unless you have any concerns. Can I get a motion from someone?
I'll make a motion to approve item 7, conceptual plan, Chester Street Community Garden.
Okay, get a motion, get a second.
I'll second.
First and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Okay, street lighting, Educational Avenue. This is, the gentleman last week came up and say they were gonna put this on one side of the street now. Is this basically what he showed us, just proving the price for
Yeah,
it?
so this is the plan that he showed you, and this is the pricing for it. So basically, we're just bringing it back to show you the plan that he created for what you asked for. And then this is the proposal for the price.
Anybody in the audience want to speak on this? Not, can I bring it back to council for a motion or discussion?
I'll make a motion to approve item 8, purchase request street lighting on Education Avenue, Duke Energy.
Got a motion, can you get a second?
I'll second.
First and a second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Okay, discussion 2026. We've kicked this around a couple weeks, we kind of wanted you back in the saddle, so we could discuss just the transition plan, how things will kind of work out. It looks, like, as you know, I've been I'm kind of resigning, I've not put it in writing yet, but I will do that. I'm just trying to figure out what the process is that I have to do. It will be, I kind of wanted to ask council's direction on this. It will be the last meeting of May. Looks like will be the date we've met with Scott. First off, before we go further, I think we had consensus that I would have left early to do a special election, but it seems that feedback I got that we wanted to spend the money on a special election.
Correct.
So it would only be a couple weeks anyway, so we'll go with that piece. I think the last time we had a special election, like $80,000, and that was a long time ago. And with the special election, there's a lot of special things that happen. So we're just gonna go with the transitioning of it. The question is, does council desire, the last meeting, I can either make my termination, I personally would like to pass the gavel to the next person, make mine, it's kind of a weird thing, I think Scott kind of was like, humming, is making it time sensitive, so making it like my resignation at 6:45, so that way could start the meeting and then I kind of drop the gavel and walk away. Because once I plan on, it's been a great time here, but when I do it, I'm gonna walk away. I can't keep coming back and doing this. There's a lot going on, so but I just didn't know that last meeting. There's a lot going on in the next couple months. I didn't know if council would want here for the full meeting. If we did the last meeting, and like I was suggesting, and this is for us to have the discussions, we could, my thought process, what I would like to do, if council would humor, is I would just resign the last meetings, effective at 6:45 or 6:35, we can do it quick. As long as, at that point in time, pass the gavel, I could step down, and then we could have an agenda item to go ahead and appoint somebody at that meeting to take the seat. They don't have to wait till the next meeting. You can.
Wouldn't have to. No.
Yeah, so basically, I would step away the first of the meeting, and then the first agenda item could be appoint somebody, so you would have a full council. There's a lot of things that's on the agenda coming down. My concern is, if you go a couple weeks without somebody and something comes here, then somebody will dispute and say, well, you didn't have a
Full council.
you didn't have a full council. But I'm here to open as discussion of how y'all would like the transition to happen.
Are we nominating, we're just nominating for the seat, not for the title of mayor. I'm assuming that the title of mayor would go to vice mayor, and then we would appoint someone, and then we would then
appoint
another vice mayor after we appointed the person up
You
here.
want to talk on that piece? That was what I would prefer.
Yes.
And if y'all can entertain that piece, then we can let Scott
Yes.
handle the details.
Per the charter, if there's a vacancy that occurs within 6 months of an election, which is what this timing's all about, there's no need to have a special election. You'll just wait to have an election in November at the regular time. But council will appoint someone to fill, they have to be, obviously be a resident and those requirements, but to fill that spot until the election. But in this case, seat 3, the charter actually says that the vice mayor will assume the mayor's role, will become the mayor until the election in November. So you'll just be appointing someone for seat 3. They will not be the mayor.
And just to clarify, when I resign and I pass the gavel, there'll be 4 people up here. So I will not have a vote or a say or any feedback on who gets appointed. majority of the 4 till
So you're
somebody-
thinking about, I was thinking for some reason you were going to wait through the meeting and then resign at the end.
No.
But you're thinking about resigning near the front of the meeting and then,
Yes.
okay, you can do that. But
Yes, just mix it up a little bit.
It's like I
Yeah.
can.
There was a little curveball there, but okay.
Yes, I was going to resign at 6:45 and pass it on in that way. I just know, and the reason I'm saying that is there's things that are coming down the pipe that could possibly be here at that meeting that it needs a full council for the vote. And that could be possibly Walmart could be here on that final vote of that meeting. And that's the reason I'm thinking it, Scott, is just because if something comes up with Walmart, because I know they're pushing their things through, or last I heard, to have a full council. I didn't want Walmart, I didn't want to have to abstain from a vote. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I don't know if they'll be here by that time. That seems a little early
Well,
for that one to come
it's,
through, but I guess
they,
it's possible.
well, you gotta realize when I thought of this plan,
Yeah.
they were, but things changed.
Right.
They could be here at the end of the summer, as far as I know.
And we can, this can be a little bit in flux
Yes.
as agenda items come up. But right now, the thought is you'll convene the meeting and then
Yes.
announce your
Just like
resignation.
we did,
Yeah.
I was trying to do it the same way that we do when we change seats with the regular mayor. They do start the first meeting of the next election,
And the gavel.
hand the gavel, and move on.
So I have some questions. So when is this actually going to take place?
I think the second meeting in May, which is
May
May
19th.
19th.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then to appoint someone, I think, Scott, you and I were talking about this, it takes all 4 votes, correct?
The 4 remaining council members, so it will take 3 votes. You'll
3
have to have somebody that the remaining council, at least 3 of the 4 remaining approve.
And
Yes.
is there going to be any kind of advertisement, or we just,
That's a good question. That's up to you all, how much, there's no requirement that you advertise, if anybody's interested in that, but you certainly could if you want. I think the notion is, typically, this is someone who knows the city, who has, because they're filling in on a short-term period. But that's up to you all, how much you wish to.
Just as soon, I think there's a handful of people here that we would consider appointing. It's got to be somebody, in my opinion, with the complexity of what's going to go on in this city over the summer, that we know the people that show up at council are engaged and have done that have a track record. You just can't bring somebody in new. But I'm not here to do that. That's just my opinion. I think before that, council can discuss who they would like to appoint prior to. Because what you want to do is you don't want to appoint somebody and that person say, not me, I don't want to do that.
It's happened.
But there's some complexities that are involved in this one that's gonna be interesting. Is one is the person will sit in seat 3. The mayor will be seat 1. She will be referred to as the mayor. Once the mayor, always the mayor. Like,
Will be the mayor.
I'm just saying from the aspect of when you look at mayors of Minneola, they are going to be designated a mayor. So we'll see David, Randy, David, Pat, Pam, X, whoever comes in there. So that's it. So technically, if we have multiple candidates that are running for the mayorship, that person, if they are appointed, they'll sit in seat 3, but they can't run on reelect the mayor because they're not the mayor.
Correct, yes.
They can
They were
run.
not a mayor.
And they
yes.
can't use the word reelect because they never were elected.
Correct.
But they can use the word keep seat 3. So if they're in seat 3, you can say keep Charlie Brown.
I guess they
seat
would
3.
be an incumbent in a sense for seat
Yes.
3, because they have been, even though it was by appointment, yes.
I would check the handbook on that.
Checking Scott. I'm just saying, I just want to clarify how that works.
Yeah, Scott, I think we need to double check the handbook, because
Yeah, we'll
that's.
check on it, but they would certainly not be the mayor.
Right.
So they would not, whoever's in
Because
seat
we had the same issue when Sheriff Borders ran for reelection, because he could not say reelect Sheriff Borders because he was appointed, but he could say keep Sheriff Borders. And you're not reelecting, you're not appointing this person to be the mayor, you're appointing the person to seat three. So,
Correct.
but that gives you some homework to do.
It does.
Starting it now.
Interesting.
But that's why I want to have this discussion, because the last thing I want to do is, because, you know, we live in a political world where people start writing letters and complaining and filing grievances, and we're just trying to avoid any of that now. So we're very aware of the rules and make sure that we adhere to them. To Councilman Hernandez, if it's incorrect, then let's don't make some assumptions and get called out on it.
So the meeting in May, you want to resign. Do you want that person to be nominated or appointed
That night,
that night?
yeah.
Okay, so we make that clear transition, we'll have 5 council members. Okay.
Yeah, for 1 minute.
So your thought is you'd like that literally be a back-to-back, you resign, pass the
Resign.
gavel, and then the next thing on the agenda would be, let's appoint someone to fill that vacancy.
Okay.
Okay.
Remember that
Appoint
was,
someone for vice mayor right after that as
And,
well.
yes, I
And then you
hadn't
would
thought of
appoint
that,
someone
but
for
yes,
vice
you'll need
mayor.
to have someone for vice mayor.
and then the vice mayor, once you go to a vice mayor, you have to decide is that vice mayor to finish out the term with the mayor? And then in November, do you reappoint the vice mayor again, and when you get elected new mayor? So because the vice mayor terms are always a year, so this vice mayor is only going to be for a few months, and then you would appoint, like always, when we do things, when y'all do things. So it would just be a short term for the vice mayor. Any questions, concerns?
One would assume
Yes.
that the person you're going to appoint will be at the meeting that night.
The question is, that what I asked Scott, is can you discuss prior to this, or is this going to be like the Oscars on Monday night? You're going to have everybody that's considered in the audience, and we're going to open an envelope and.
No, you as a council members, this is the place. You'd have to obviously discuss
But I can't be
amongst
involved in
yourself. But individual council members can discuss with potential candidates. They're not
But as a
violating any
council,
sunshine.
like right now, could we say?
Sure.
Who are you considering?
You can.
Okay. Is there anybody here that's considering appointing somebody in my resignation, or is that something that you would like to discuss later? That way, if that person is not interested, you can choose somebody else.
You asking us?
I'm asking anybody. I'm not going to be part of the conversation. I'm just,
Oh, I would love Nathan, but I know he's not gonna do it, so.
I think it's something maybe we need to think about and then go approach those people, or that particular person, to see if they're even interested.
but I think the point is, yeah, I mean, how do y'all want to do that? Do y'all want to, I think
we're overthinking this. I think,
we are too.
yeah, the people that are here, we nominate or we appoint. Pam nominates Sue Ann. Sue Ann says, then it goes to council. Council, do you guys approve appointing Sue Ann? We vote nay, so then we appoint John Smith. John Smith, does the council approve? Yay, then John Smith isn't.
Yeah,
So
but
you're- are
Sue
you-
Ann and John Smith need to be in the audience, making
So
sure that
basically-
they're.
Well, I think they do, because then we have to swear them in right away.
Right,
So
exactly.
I think the
So we
point
just,
is, you have an idea of each of you individually.
yeah.
You have somebody in mind that you want to appoint.
Sure.
And you go with the rule of you must be present to win.
Let's be honest, those who are interested and want to be on here already knew that you were stepping down, so.
Yeah.
It's not a surprise, so.
Right.
Just
I
be
think-
here for the meeting.
I think we're all just trying to beat around the bush. I think we all know what we gotta do, and everybody who's gonna be here is gonna be here, and that's it. I think we can move forward. I don't think we have to just keep discussing this. I think we're good.
Scott, we're not required to advertise it or anything like that, we just nominate.
Not required, no.
Okay.
The first time I ever met Mayor Yeager was, hey, Bill Balanoff left, and all of a sudden, they're like, will you nominate David Yeager? I'm like, who is this guy? And he showed up that night when Bill Balanoff became mayor. It was one of your no, it was the other lady. It was the person before you that was the attorney then.
Yeah, that was before my time.
Yeah, because I just remember.
Mary McDaniel.
Yes,
Yeah.
because we had the guy with the cool breeze hair from the 1980s haircut. He was a nice guy, but he had him on P&Z. He was our P&Z attorney, but he worked for you also, didn't he? It was really long.
Cool breeze hair. I'll have to
Yeah.
know who that was, but.
Yeah. So,
17 years ago, the council did appoint somebody to the council. And that, for those who don't remember, that was me. And it seemed kind of simple. Three people stood up, at least two people stood up and said, I'd like to nominate myself or apply for that position, and the council voted on it, and it took, I think, 2 votes. First vote didn't go well, second vote got better,
and the rest is history.
and the rest is history. But I think it went rather simple. So
That's fine.
I wouldn't worry about it. You can resign, you're not tied to the office, you're not mandatory to be here.
I just want to make sure that we don't get,
And we understand that, and I think, being that we're all adults over the age of 21, we'll survive.
okay, that's fine. I just don't want additional legal concerns and investigations and everything else happening. That's my biggest concern. As the mayor, that's, the main goal up here is to not get the city sued. It's, and try to make those goals, so. Okay, enough said? Are we good? Can we move to the next?
One thing it's probably worth mentioning, I think a few people have asked about this, with our new term limits. If whoever is nominated, that period, the way the charter is currently written, now this could always be amended if the voters approve it, but the way it's currently written, that
Not within the next vote, there won't be.
Not by now, yeah, but that time will count towards their term, if you will. So if someone is appointed now, they certainly can run again in November, but they would not be able to run for another 4-year term at the end of that. So if there's someone that means something to them, that they wanted to run in November and wanted to do 8 years, they probably would not wish to be appointed. Just so that's clear, if you all are talking to anybody and that question comes up, something to keep in mind. So, again, that term limit, frankly, I don't think that's something that anybody thought of when we were putting the charter provision. But probably, I didn't think of it, I'll confess, but that's the way it's written right now. So if, you could always change that later, but right now, that's the way it is interpreted, so.
Yeah, and how do
you fix it?
No, not that you fix it, because I am curious on, just for educational purposes, Pam's eligible for 1 more term. You all will be terming out, but Joe and I, so you'll have two new cast members, 2 new elected officials.
Cast members. Where is Disney again?
You'll have two new council members up here. But how do you determine what districts people are in compared to what seats they are in? Or is that something that you're going to have to figure out?
That's something that'll be all part of our districting coming up in 2028. And I'm just happy we don't have it this time. But that'll all be.
Cross
And
that
there is
bridge
that
when we
whole
get to it.
transition, there's actually some fairly detailed language on dealing with incumbents and what do you do if
But
they're not in.
according to your party, and I said this last time, and you weren't here, but if y'all both have y'all have 2 more years because you cannot run again after this next term. But if you wanted to extend it, either of you could run for mayor.
Correct. Or
And-
if your district is not, if you're, so let's say my
your
district is District 1 and I'm in seat 4, and my district is seat 1, then I can run for that and the clock starts over again.
Is that how that's going to work? I'm not sure how that works.
Yeah, I think we have an exception for incumbents for districting, that you don't have to give up your seat if your district changed. That was the way that was thought. But yes, you could.
I could jump if
Yeah,
my
you could
district is
jump
not
seats.
tied.
Absolutely, yeah.
But that just depends on how you count
How you
place
district.
how you place the numbers on the districts. Do you
Correct.
start with Old Mineola as 1, or do you start with the Hills as 1?
That'll be
It's
part of the
Crossing
fun,
that
yeah.
bridge.
Working out all
So-
of that, yeah.
So what I wanted to bring up kind of ties into all this, fixing that, that gap that you just said, and fixing essentially what happened to me where I'm tied in for 8 years. Well, it's 8 years. I was voted in 2022, and around 24, but that means I only served 6 years and not 8, because I can't go again. So we could amend that, and I think it would have to go to popular vote, I believe.
Then you need to get that turned around pretty quickly to
But
get
I think it should be pretty quick, because all we have to do is just amend it from 8 years to 10 years. That's all we gotta do.
Good stuff. Yeah, that's fine, but that's something that we need on this, you need to get that on this ballot.
It's
this year.
valid, yeah. Because the 10 years, it's the same reason why the presidency is 10 years. Something happens in the middle, somebody gets appointed, they still serve 2 full terms plus whatever time
Yeah,
that
'cause
they've
Eric
brought in.
missed out.
That's true, because I guess we're not going to have, if all goes as intended, we won't have an election in 2027.
But they're
So
10
you want to
years,
make
but
the
if he goes
change.
from 8 years to 10 years, it gives them 4 extra years.
It
Now
gives
he has
us,
2.
no, we get 2,
Right.
well,
It just buys
People
them.
caught up in that.
It's not about me. It's not about my term. It's about, in case something like this happens, let's say seat 1, somebody resigns 2 years in, you're gonna get less candidates who wanna go in, because they're gonna say, wait a minute, I'm going to not be able to serve my full term.
Right.
So, you wanna do it at 10 years, which is like how the presidency does it. That way they can serve the remaining of that person's plus 2 full terms.
10 years plus 30 days for rounding.
Okay, fine.
But yeah, good. I think, but can we get that on, can we put that on?
That's pretty quick to put on. I mean, it's just,
You've
it's,
got till, I think, August to get it on the ballot.
Yeah.
In fact, that was one of the things I was going to report on tonight, but
Okay,
if we
so,
have.
okay, so with that said, good call. With that said, bringing it back to council, any other discussions or anything else? Okay,
Qualifying remains in August, as always. None of that's changed. I think your qualifying is the 10th to the 17th, I think, this year.
okay.
Audience,
Any final public comment?
wait, can anyone in the audience ask a question?
Any audience, good.
Jennifer Morse, 1064 Golden Dawn Loop. 2 quick questions. One hypothetical. If each one of the council members have their ideal appointee, and say Pam goes first, and everyone says nay, and then Debbie, and then Eric, and then Joe, what happens? Is that?
It's a long night.
yeah.
I imagine that hopefully that won't happen, but kind of like what Joe was saying is, I don't even know, but in an ideal scenario, you guys have your candidates, then everyone comes up and presents themselves as, I think I would be great for the position, and these are my qualifications. That way, we don't really know who they came from, and then you guys vote like that. I don't know if that's.
I think we have to be careful because we have to follow charter. That's the only thing. And charter states that we have to appoint. And I think if we want to go that route,
Yeah.
we would have to change the charter, which requires a vote from the public.
Keeping with Jennifer's thought process
Yeah.
is, I think individuals who want to be on council, this is
Yeah,
my opinion.
correct, yeah.
Need to approach a council member and try to get a council member to be their champion, to bring them to
Yeah,
the
they
table.
gotta lobby themselves to
They've
the-
got to
yeah.
lobby the person and say, so if Billy wants to come up here, she's going to go to Pam, and then then Pam's going to say, okay, well, I've talked to these people, and this is my candidate, and I want to bring it up. So that would be that's the way that's got to work, is they probably need to reach. But to have somebody come up here, this isn't going to be like high school class president.
But also to
Well-
Jennifer's point, there is no requirement that they have the backing, if you will, of a council member. If there's someone that's interested, they could get up and
They
just
can
say,
have
I'd
floor.
like to be appointed.
They could
I mean,
do it during public comment.
Yes.
Yeah, they can do a floor nomination or
Yeah,
appointee.
yeah. So they could, again, Sue Smith can come in and say, I don't know anybody, but I think I'm a good candidate because blah, 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 blah. I hope one of you guys.
Well, they
appoint
don't
me."
have to say they don't know anybody.
you know what I
You don't know if,
That's fine.
you know.
Just make sure that that's after I pass the gavel. That's all I got to say.
And then the,
No vote, yeah.
Make sure you're out the door before.
I'll stay for this one.
so the other question about that is, after you pass the gavel and the new appointee takes the position, are they expected to vote that evening on the agenda items?
Yes.
So whomever is,
Yeah.
whomever is the appointee we'll have to do all of the, or know and have access to all of the information, the agenda packets and stuff like that to make an informed decision that evening
Yes.
ASAPidly.
Yeah, they'll need to be sworn in that evening and hit the ground running, I guess, with this.
Ooh, I was gonna use that quote.
Yeah.
That was a
hit
good
the-
one.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good, sounds good, thank you.
Thanks.
And it is possible that, not saying we can't, but it is possible that we can agree on somebody, and that has happened before.
We
that
have what?
weren't- It is possible
Can't
that we
agree.
can't
Agree
get
on
three
someone.
council members that agree on the same person. Technically, our charter says if that doesn't happen, we'd have to have an election, but from a practical matter, we won't have time to have an election anyway, so the seat would sit vacant until
It'll
we
be
can
a long
get three
night.
people to agree on somebody.
I'm gonna nominate my dog.
There you go.
Let's get it over with.
As long as Joyce brings her dog, we're covered.
Yeah.
Dave Yeager, 2750 Purple Meadow Court. Do we have any ETA on the flag yet? That'd be the first thing. The second thing, so one day I'm coming out my lane and Junior Davis is
Whoa, whoa,
there.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
We're not in public comment yet.
Oh, you weren't?
Was there any other, I thought you were gonna give us words of wisdom of being appointed. Okay, anything else? Can I open this up to public comment now?
Final public comment?
Mark, before we do public comments, do we have an update on the flag?
Dave Yeager, 2750 Purple Meadow Court. Hey, Mark, you have any update on the flag?
Yeah, we have ordered it. They spec'd out the wrong pole for our wind conditions, so they had to go back and redo that. But it should still be installed within 6 months.
Did it have 49 stars instead of 50, or what?
What's that?
Poll.
Have we got someone?
It's a poll.
Does it have 49 stars and a flag or something? No.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, the pole, they miscalculated, the company didn't calculate our wind speeds here correctly, and so they had to make a sturdier,
So it was an issue with the pole, not the flag.
yes,
Right,
the
the
pole
pole, not the
thickness, the
flag.
metal thickness.
Right.
We're gonna have a spare flag in stock.
We're going to order two.
Thank you.
Or we have ordered two.
The second thing, so I was coming down my lane on Sullivan, and so the lane's blocked by Junior Davis, and Junior Davis for about a week was working and going around there, and so I stop and I say, yeah, what's going on? Oh, well, we're putting a force main in for the city. Richard German wants a force main put in here because he has to pay for it for the city in the agreement that council approved. The only slight problem is they didn't do a assessment for turtles. And so I got hold of Mark, and basically the machines went away within the hour because I think they forgot that step. I think Richard said, hey, I need this put in, and it was going to happen, but bulldozers are roaring. And from the front of Scrub J all the way back to my lane, there's 9 turtles in the right-of-way. So it was, we're moving a lot of dirt around here, and I would hope that we cross our Ts and dot our Is. You know, again, Mark, and they said, oh, we're going to have a meeting with the city. Well, the only problem is this city didn't know anything, and I got hold of Mark, and he put a kibosh to it. But I think Richard just said, hey, go do this, and they were on the move. They said, oh, we were just clearing it so we could do that, but that's not really what happened. The second thing is, so where are we at on the gas station at 561A and Hancock? Is it in litigation? I know there was an update last week, but I didn't get that part.
The one at 561A North Hancock, there's a mediation that's actually reconvening a week from Friday, and to see if there's a potential settlement that could then come back. Council's already mentioned they wanted to go back to P&Z as well as council, and for further consideration, so that's where we
If
are.
it goes all the way, does it look like we could actually win this case, or we're gonna lose it?
We'll have to see. No comment at this point.
It's not a slam dunk.
Very legal answer from Scott. That does not sound good.
Well,
We'll
a legal
have,
answer, a non-committal answer from any,
I'll have,
committed answer from any.
depending on what our, if we can reach a settlement and it comes back to you, yes, I will have more of an opinion at that time, but at this point, we don't know what that might be.
Usually when an attorney says that, that means it's not good.
Exactly.
Just FYI.
And the last thing is, did we ever do a plaque for Frankie with Public Works at all? Have we ever looked into that, or are we going to proceed forward with that?
We will. We're going to use the same company we did for Mary Jane, but it has not been ordered yet, but it's on our list.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any final public comment? Mark, anything?
As quick as I can, speaking of Frankie, just, publicly let everyone know that Sue passed away. She was very dedicated and loyal to the citizens of Minneola, and, I could tell a lot of great stories about her, but her dedication is rarely matched of what you see in other people, and her service will be this Friday at around noon. If anyone wishes to go. But she'll always be remembered and appreciated. Some of the selfless acts that she made over her time here are, truly special. So we will always remember her. Trailhead Park Improvement Workshop is March 24th at 6:30. Just remind everybody of that. Scott's going to bring that up. The City Hall bathrooms are going to be repainted. They're working on that now. The MS 5K raised $1,900 to help MS research to help find a cure. Pickleball tournaments on March 28th. It'll be at the Clearbrook RV and Golf Resort. They're letting us use the facility for free. It starts at 9.
Can you change the venue on that, or is it too late for everything?
To change what?
As we talked to Dick German about using the ones up in the hills, or is that going to be for the second annual pickleball tournament?
I think we should keep that for the second. I think it's too, well, look, before I say that, how many teams do we have registered?
13 so far.
That's more than I thought. Okay, let's keep it there. I don't,
I'm just saying this.
I'd rather keep it there.
Okay, I mentioned it to him, and he's like, well, nobody asked me. He was very open to like letting them use it. Well, before the HOA takes it over, and they say, absolutely not. Is it just 2?
Yeah, Del Webb has like 38 of them.
Who?
Del Webb?
Yeah. Give him a couple more years, he'll be there.
Minneola Market's going to be coming up March 25th. We have a vendor that's coming that's a produce vendor, so we're excited about that. Also, a florist is coming, and a couple of new vendors that you haven't seen before. Summer camp registration is open right now. We're going to be doing fishing with a first responder. It'll be advertised soon. The Park Ridge HOA is going to allow us to use their area for the fishing tournament as part of our centennial celebration. So that'll be advertised soon, but it's going to be held on May 16th.
Wait, I didn't hear you. What was that? What fishing tournament?
Fishing with a first responder, so police and fire are going to be out there with the kids.
On May 16th.
May 16th, going to be 15 and younger. And why is it that? Because they won't have to have a permit.
Okay.
That age. And then that's it. Thank you.
Anything for the city manager?
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Anything?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So Mark, as you know, I messaged you about the open mailboxes that were in Parkview. I have yet to receive a response from USPH on that, or PS, thank you. USPS on that. I'm very concerned because not only is this not the first time this has happened, I know that at the Hills it's happened quite a few amount of times with identity theft at an all-time high. I think it's very It's very unprofessional. It's a lot of malfeasance that the USPS is doing that could put a lot of our residents in danger. We need to maybe look from a legal standpoint what we can and cannot do since we are a federal agency. This isn't the first time that's happened, so Scott, I don't know if we want to make Fox News and CNN headlines by suing the USPS, but we need to, I'm all for it, you know, and I know that if one of our residents did get their identity stolen, then I think it'll be a much bigger issue. So I think we need to look into this a little bit more serious. Like I said, no one has reached out to me. So we really need to put some pressure on the USPS. I know they're not shut down because of the federal government, so they are 100% working. We'll say if whoever's responsible for responding or they'll have the work ethic of those in the Minneola or Claremont, then I will be waiting for a while. But we really need to get this worked out. So you can tell I'm not a fan of the USPS. I think we should privatize it all, but that's just me. In the meantime, we need to work with them.
Yeah, another service-related issue I've heard from citizens is they used to deliver packages that wouldn't fit in your mailbox. They'd walk them up to the door. And sometimes they do that, and sometimes they give you a note, you got to go to the Claremont Post Office to pick it up for oversized packages. So that's something that's fairly new that I've been hearing about lately, and we probably want to ask them about why that has changed. Is that the carrier's personal option, or is that something that they're doing
I mean, frankly, I think it's just laziness. If they're delivering a package to a house and they're leaving all the mailboxes open, that's just pure laziness. It literally takes 5 seconds to close the big door, and that's it.
So is that, and that's what I was thinking, so do you think they got till they were like mail, and then, oh, box, and then like running it to the house and leaving it open, then coming back and putting the rest of the mail in?
It doesn't matter what they were doing.
I'm just wondering,
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out how you drive away and look at everything wide open, like, oh, yeah. I mean, but I leave my garage door open, it's pretty big too, but.
Oh, well, because it's a union mandated break. I don't know, but we cannot have this happen. Correct. You're right, correct. And I also think that a lot of those mail carriers are contractors because they are not in marked vehicles, and I've seen them in plain clothing as well. Again, I don't know how that works, you know, in the federal government, but we need to really put an end to that very quickly.
Yeah, another thing that we can take if y'all want to is Congressman Webster, you know, with their request, they can do a congressional inquiry, and that will get their attention pretty quickly.
Just say,
Yes,
screw it, do it.
100%.
That will get them to respond.
Yes,
I
yes.
would just do it.
Yes,
I wouldn't
agreed.
even ask, I would just say, you tried, you all, I mean, I listened to your email, I appreciate everything y'all did about trying to follow up, but, I mean, next game, they had their time to respond, now do Webster's.
No, yeah, there's no question, yes,
Let's
yes.
not wait another 3 months. or the
No,
next
we do it,
meeting.
we do it now. We do it now.
Okay, we'll request that from his office.
That's good.
That's it. Thank you, Mark.
The Spanish Inquisition's coming.
Oh, it is.
Isn't that a Claremont postal delivery issue?
I think so.
Has anybody contacted Claremont?
I have. I've tried emailing them, both the local postmaster and also the regional that's based out of Tampa, and no one has responded back to me.
I saw that in the text that you had sent out, or the email. But maybe somebody ought to go and knock on the door of the postmaster in Claremont.
But it said they're out of the building on Citrus Grove Road, it's not the post office, out of downtown Claremont, it's the one on.
We've tried to, it is a secure facility there on Mohawk Road. We've tried to call them. I've tried to call them, and it will ring. You'll go through, and it'll hang up on you. You never can get to anyone or even leave a message.
Yep. The efficiencies of the USPS, again, privatize it all, in my opinion.
Maybe we should call Donald Trump.
Go by West Palm, on the way down.
Don't send him a letter, you won't get it.
You won't do that.
Okay. Anything else? You good? Joe, anything?
No.
Okay. Pam, anything for you? Oh, Scott?
Scott.
Just a couple of things.
One time you have something.
Yeah, I do, a couple of, it won't take long. The regular legislative session ended, but it's a foregone conclusion there will be a special session, if nothing more, to deal with the budget, which they have to pass, and probably property taxes. They can bring back other items, but it's not anticipated. And in fact, as we've done in every year, the league does a legislative summary, which I share with you, and we go over it at that time. And Cheryl, I appreciate all your efforts. As your reward, I'll send you a copy of the summary when it comes in, so, okay. But there'll be more on that. The second, already mentioned earlier, but the ballot deadline this year is August 21st, which is right after our qualifying period. But if there are any things that we wish to have on the ballot, and one came up tonight about possibly amending the term limit language, we'll work on that. But if there's anything else, think about it and let us know. We got time, but we have to pass an ordinance, so you need a little bit of time ahead of time to do it. And the third thing was e-bikes. I was speaking with the Schwarkos today, and they're still concerned about e-bikes, particularly on the trail. We talked previously about passing an ordinance similar to what Claremont and Winter Garden have had, limiting, if not prohibiting, e-bikes on the trail. The thought was we were going to wait and see if the legislature did anything. They did do a few things. They did limit the speed to 10 mile an hour within 50 feet of pedestrians, and you have to have a license for type 3, but didn't really address this issue. So I'm assuming you'd like to bring back an ordinance dealing with limiting or prohibiting e-bikes on the trail like we previously discussed. It'll have to go to P&Z and then come back to you, but we'll dust that off if you'd like and bring that
But we
forward.
don't own the trail, so how can we prohibit roads that we?
Well, it's our city, so we
So I spoke to Sean about this, and
I'm just curious.
yeah, so he was going, I actually have a call with him this week. He's gonna go speak with the sheriff and see what they're gonna do in order to further enhance that patrol of the trail. Since to your point, it's not Minneola, but Scott's point, it is in Minneola, so, we should have some involvement, but any enforcement needs to, of course, be done by the sheriff's office.
Yes.
I mean, we're gonna have the same thing with, if we brought back, if we do the golf cart
I
piece.
was
It's
just
like,
gonna say
either we have to you either accept e-bikes on the trail or you enforce e-bikes not to be on the trail. The city needs to either accept golf carts or enforce golf carts, because if you went just at the Christmas parade, there was a ton of golf carts at the Christmas parade. They're here, and they're all through the hills. And so, as a council, we
I
have
thought
to-
the issue with golf carts was that we had to speak with the county because of Hancock.
Didn't
That's a
cross
county
over.
road, so we can't cross.
Right.
No, you can cross. That's for that's for low-speed vehicles. They cross 27 all the time. The question is, golf carts and
Legally.
But,
yeah,
right.
but do you ever go over 55 miles an hour? Like, there's a speed limit too. But I mean, is it enforceable?
Well, that's a question.
The question is,
it
we either need to say you can, and I think most of the concerns we get is not, hey, somebody's crossing Hancock. It's like there's somebody running down the street in my neighborhood on a golf cart. So those are our streets and they're enforceable.
But
So-
doesn't it come now with legalities with the county? Because if that's a county road and a deputy stops somebody, let's say I'm driving my golf cart to Crooked Can, la, 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 and even though we said we're not gonna enforce it, but then a deputy stops me and says, hey, you're in a golf cart, Hancock is not rated to, or your golf cart is not rated to be on Hancock, what do we do?
I'm more focused on the ones in the hills where they're driving from, now that they have all those 2 pickleball courts, and people are driving to their pickleball courts in their car, because there's a problem with parking at the clubhouse up there already.
Right.
So now golf carts take up less space. So if you allow golf carts up there,
No, but
that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah,
more of the subdivision. Ardmore is another example. Those are that are using golf carts within the community.
No, we do it as well. So again, so is the question to solve it citywide or just to create these pockets within the city? I'm okay either way. I just want to make sure that we understand what that means. Because if we say, okay, golf carts are now 100% legal in Minneola, we're not going to enforce it, you better believe that people are going to be crossing up and down 27.
No, there's lines where golf carts aren't allowed over X and Y. So if you go, I was in Leesburg, and you would just put a sign.
Yeah, it says golf carts not, or,
End of golf cart.
end of legal area, whatever.
So basically, at the entrance of, coming out of your subdivision, you would just put a sign that said golf carts not past this point. So it allows them in your subdivision, they just can't get out onto Hancock.
So
That would be a thought, but that's the
that-
thought.
that is a thought. Fast forward 2 years from now, Crooked Can is up and running. You don't think there's gonna be golf carts coming from Ardmore Reserve, from Parkview, even from the hills that are gonna be crossing over? I mean, there are. So
Yeah,
I agree. I think we should do something, but if we're gonna do it, let's get the county involved to at least get their thoughts.
They have, yeah, there's a whole process, and that we'll be going
Yeah.
through that, but, yeah, the
No, I'm just
county
saying
has
let's
to
get it
approve any crossing of a county road, they have to actually approve the crossing locations. We can't, at North Hancock, I think the speeds are too high to have golf carts on anyway, so that we're not talking about golf carts on North Hancock, but as you
Just gonna
said,
put golf
there'd
carts
be
on the
more
trail.
within, more within the 25 mile an hour type of areas, or we have a special trail for the golf cart. I think that's what was anticipated with Crooked Can, is having a trail that and whether you'll allow golf carts on that trail. But, let's not mix e-bikes and golf carts, but.
But you say no, don't, but to me, it's just, what's the difference between a motorcycle and a car is an e-bike and a golf cart. It's the same concept. They both don't, neither of them go over 25 miles an hour. You still have that mile limit, so you're.
E-bikes can go depending, I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen
they-
some
I'm
going
sure.
more than 20, yeah,
have.
they'll.
Yeah,
so-
but you know what I'm saying,
but
so,
yeah.
but I think it's something that's gonna come
Okay.
up, and it's gonna be, you know, Chase was saying it's
Yeah.
a hot topic up in the hills where they really want golf carts.
Yeah, but and as you know, technically, you're not supposed to have any golf carts on city streets unless we've passed an ordinance identifying where they can happen. Many communities, they happen, and, you know,
But
they're
I
not-
believe the Hills residents, and I'm gonna say this haphazardly because of what happened when we spoke about the 30-acre parcel. I believe the minute we say that Minneola is now a golf cart city, we are going to see golf carts on Hancock. And the first person that gets a ticket or pulled over, we will get a complaint. I just want to put that on record, that I think if we're gonna do this, we need to address the county and see if we can
Oh,
bend
no,
the rules.
it's a county issue too.
Because and Chase, I'm sure you're nodding your head because you know that's gonna happen, 100%. So I don't want to just pass it to say, hey, we're a golf cart community. I think let's do this the right way and get the
Right.
county involved so that all of Minneola, so you can take your golf cart from Crooked Can all the way to
The Tiki Bar.
the Tiki Bar, for example, right?
But technically, you'll never be able to do that.
Because of 27,
Well, the turnpike, yeah.
or the
Because
turnpike.
No, you can't do it because of 27, because even with low-speed vehicles, even if I have one and it's tagged and it's licensed and it's totally legal, I can't take it across the U.S. You can't take it across the U.S. highway.
Right.
So for me to go to Home Depot, I would have to go down and go underneath the bridge down by the tree or whatever, down that way. But there is a way to go underneath, there was a workaround, but the point is, you'll never be able to go from Park Ridge to the Crooked Can on a golf cart.
Well, there was a tunnel on Hancock. Oh, wait, no, never mind. We took that
Well,
out.
no, it wouldn't affect the tunnel, but yes. You just gotta-
And you are correct. I mean,
It's
we
gotta
have
get-
to be careful about how this is done. I think that was why it wasn't done before, because the worry was if we suddenly had this notion that we passed an ordinance allowing any kind of golf carts, it'd be a
But then we get-
free-for-all, and
but
we'd have
we're-
issues and safety concerns, so.
But we're getting on the other side of it, where if we don't do something, we're getting half the community saying, all these golf carts
They're popping up.
are popping up. What is the city gonna do? It's damned if you do and damned if you
Oh,
don't.
I agree. I agree. I know the residents, and the minute we say we're a golf cart community, it's gonna be bad.
It's scheduled to be a discussion, golf carts are scheduled to be a discussion item, I believe, at April's P and Z, per your request, so that'll be
Yeah, so that's
just a discussion
Right,
right
and
now.
and I guarantee you it's gonna happen. They're gonna approve, it's gonna go back to us, and we're gonna have the same conversation all over again.
But before it gets to us, again, we need to have that discussion with the county as well, and to see what can be done. Because when we make that decision, you're gonna have tons of golf carts.
And coming up
It's
with.
just a matter of time.
and
We'll
being-
actually ask the sheriff's department for their opinion on where golf carts are appropriate within the city. That's actually a statutory requirement that you get an opinion. Most cities have like their police departments do, but in our case, of course, it'd be the sheriff's office, so we would need to coordinate with them and get their input as professionals as to where it's appropriate to have golf carts if we do, yeah.
Now, I'm sure we'll discuss this further. But each golf cart, the minute it leaves your driveway, needs to be road legal. So it has to have the seat belts, the lights, turn signals, et cetera, et cetera. That I think is, I've known plenty of people that have gotten into really bad accidents, especially at night with the lights, with the streets not lit up. It needs to be road legal. That's where I take a hard, I'm all for it. I'll be the first one to buy a really nice golf cart, but it has to be street legal.
Street
Oh,
legal.
really? I'm interested. Is it road legal?
Huh?
Is it road legal?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's tagged and everything.
It's tagged and everything.
Oh, perfect.
I'm sorry, I spoke to your wife already, it's mine.
But all that, but I will, getting back to the EV, we'll bring back, just for consideration, the bikes or e-bikes on the trails to consider. And obviously, it'll need to go through P and
What
Z.
can we do about e-bikes pulling butt through subdivisions that pass cars?
Well, that's what the sheriff's office gets to deal with as far as those are concerned, right? The enforcement issues. I mean, that's a real issue. In fact, part of the legislature that was passed, they've appointed a task force. That was the word. The statewide task force to deal with e-bikes. You may remember a couple of years ago, the legislature was passing all these things promoting e-bikes, that they're just like bikes and they should be allowed on sidewalks and all of this. So they opened everything up, and now they're kind of, oops, wait a minute, we need to back up a little
They
bit.
advance really quick.
Yeah,
Those
so,
things kind of move.
yeah, I think we've all experienced and seen, particularly a lot of kids flying by on e-bikes and things, and it's, yeah, and those little scooters as well, yeah, but.
We'll get this resolved, and the next thing will be air vehicles, you know.
There we
No,
go.
it's
Oh,
true. Air taxis are coming to Orlando, so it'll be a matter of time before people have them at their house.
I'm actually really excited about that. Cut my trip to the airport by half. I'm all for that, 100%.
Well, by the time we get this EV ordinance, we might have to address air
Yeah.
taxis or something, but no, we'll move this forward.
Can we make a Minneola air taxi landing area? That'll be amazing. Be the first county or city to do that?
Yes, at Crooked Can.
They're
Perfect.
they're getting very affordable for people to. It's about the
I'm
price of a
stoked.
new vehicle here right now.
Scott, anything else? Anything
No,
for the
that's,
attorney?
that's enough.
Anything?
Nothing
Got it,
for
got
the
it, got it.
attorney,
More.
thank you.
Joe, anything for Scott?
No.
Pam, anything?
Yes, hate to say it, but have some residents in my neighborhood, as well as some people that were in the audience at our last meeting that are wanting and that will be requesting speed tables or speed bumps in their neighborhood. So it will be brought soon, so just a heads up that we'll be entertaining that again.
That's fine.
Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
I have nothing.
I'm good, thank you.
Joe?
Joe? Anything?
Sorry, backtrack. Sorry, Joe, before, so when we speak to Webster regarding the mail, can you reach out, or can the city reach out to all the HOAs to make sure that all the mailboxes are kept up to date? Because that's owned by the USPS, so let's make sure that everything is up to date, all the wording, the lettering. That way, if we're gonna attack this, let's just attack everything that's going on with the city on that at the same time. Sorry, Joe. Your turn.
Anything?
Anything for the city attorney?
Yes, I have a thing.
This is public.
Oh, is this our reports?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. My
Sorry, what was
apologies.
that?
Oh, no, it's your report, Joe.
My report,
Yes,
yes.
sorry
It's
about
not a
that.
report. It's an opinion. It's my opinion that this council should not be the ones who vote on Walmart. It's my opinion that Walmart, yes or no, should be on the ballot. And the residents should vote for it, not the four fine people who are on the council who tentatively were going to vote for it, and now possibly 5 people. I think we have enough time to get it on the ballot. I think we have enough time to word it correctly. we essentially, in the wording, are not voting for Walmart. We're voting for a developed center or a development project, which would include a Walmart. But I'm not sure I would name it as Walmart. Everybody knows that Walmart is proposing it. But it's a store that's over 18,000 square feet, which everybody throws at us. I regret the fact that I voted for that
Okay?
years ago, but there was a purpose for it then. I'm not sure the purpose still is fundamental.
Joe, with that, keeping that thought process, looking at a different angle, how about putting on the ballot that we remove the 18,000 square foot from our ordinance? Just remove the 18,000 square feet.
Me neither.
Okay, I'm just saying, so the point is, if you vote to remove the 18,000, it's half full, half empty.
Well, there was a purpose for it. I bought into it. I'm not sure the purpose is still valid, but I'm not saying here's the wording for the ballot. I'm saying we need to consider how the ballot's worded so that we're not saying, well, we want a Walmart or we don't want a Walmart. I don't think that's what people are being requested to vote on. I know that there's a lot of people in the city that have Walmart derangement syndrome, and I don't blame them. They don't like Walmart, and they have their opinion, but there are a lot of people who shop at Walmarts. Walmart is one of the biggest companies in the world. Walmart has over 9,000 stores worldwide. They have over 4,700 stores nationally. They have a lot of clout, they have a lot of customers, a lot of people shop at Walmarts. And for the 4 people on the council, or 5 people on the council, whatever it may be, to vote on it, I think is inappropriate. That's my opinion.
I'm not saying I disagree with you.
Yeah, but I don't think, do we want to have rebuttals? That's a good
You
time.
can,
So debate real
you
quick
can
if we
discuss
do.
it. You can discuss I think, Scott, this goes back to Scott's question that he said, is there anything that you'd like to put on the ballot this year? That would be a possibility.
I think we just need to be careful in the sense of we are elected by the people to make decisions for the people. And there are gonna be some decisions that we're gonna make they're not gonna agree with us, but ultimately, we are here in this position to make those agreements and to make those decisions. So by us putting in the council, on the general ballot, that may seem to some residents as a cop-out saying, we don't want to have pie in our face one way or the other. So though, as a private resident, Joe, I agree, I think that's a good idea. As an elected official, I do not think that's a good idea. In my opinion.
Well, unfortunately, the 7-Eleven gas station was voted no, and in my opinion, it's going to be there someday. It sounds like it's going through arbitration now. If that's the right word.
Mediation.
Mediation.
It's going through mediation now. But if I was a gambling man, I'd bet it's going to be there someday.
Yeah.
Very soon.
The 200 people that live at Del Webb that don't want it there are probably not going to get their way. 3,000 people, and that's what I've heard on South Lake. I don't know what you call it. It's an email that I got through the city, that 3,000 people signed a petition. I haven't seen that petition. Before I would consider the fact that 3,000 people signed a petition, I'd want to see that petition, and I'd like to see it verified, and by verified, I mean they have to be registered voters.
Are you speaking about Walmart, or are you speaking about the 7-Eleven?
The Walmart.
The Walmart, okay,
I'm speaking about Walmart now.
okay,
And I'm comparing it to the process we went through with 7-Eleven.
gotcha.
And we all voted it down. And my reason for voting it down, I didn't question anybody else's reason, but my reason for voting it down was there are so many people sitting in the audience with red shirts on who didn't want it. And I can understand that. But the 2,000 or 3,000 or whatever the people who are that supposedly signed a petition or agreed to a petition are not the people, apparently, that would shop at a Walmart. The people who shop at a Walmart, you can see them at the Walmart in Claremont, you can see them at the Walmart on West Colonial Drive. Walmart is a very popular store, and there's a reason for that. It's the paradigm that exists today. Now, we can all say, let's change the paradigm. I'm all for that, but there's no way that we, as a council, or we, as a city, can create that paradigm. I've heard boutique stores, I've heard little stores, I've heard, let's have a community center. That was presented to the city. I had a lot of trouble that, if you can remember, when Sunterra presented that to the city. I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't believe it was viable. I didn't believe that it was appropriate, and I didn't believe that it would be successful. And lo and behold, it never went anywhere. So, if people are wishing for something else on that 74-acre lot, they can hold their breath till hell freezes over. I don't see anybody coming along to put up multi-million dollars to put in infrastructure and all that it takes to build out 74 acres. I don't see anybody putting up the money that would be anything else. Now, again, I understand that people don't like Walmart. I got some neighbors who don't like it. And whether I like it or not is irrelevant. And I think it's true of all the council members that would vote. We tend to vote for what the people want or need. Somehow, we're a council who thinks we represent the people, as Eric just said a few minutes ago. And I do believe that I represent the people. But I'd like to know the people that I represent, so that's why I made the statement about the petition. However, I think one way or another, Walmart could end up being there. I don't know how, just like the 7-Eleven might end up being right down the street from Del Webb. So, it's not that I don't feel that I represent the people of Minneola, I do, and I believe the council members believe that, but I think this is too big an issue for the 4 council members, possibly 5, to be the people who choose it. I'd rather put it in the hands of, on an off-year election, there'll be, I'm guessing, 3,000 to 4,000 votes.
There's no more off-year elections then, my friend.
I think.
Yeah, this would have to be a special election.
This is a,
No, you would just put it on November's ballot.
this is
Oh,
a
November's
midterm
ballot, yeah.
election.
Yeah, midterm election.
From the standpoint of the federal government.
Correct.
Even off-year being midterm, yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
midterm election. And unless people vote, you know, we've all run several times. I've run more times than I here to count, would rather count, but I'm not sure whether I want to go there or not, but
Go there, Joe. Let's go.
what happens is, if people don't show up because they don't think the election is important, unfortunately, I tend to vote every single election, every chance I get, I like to vote. And I've been that way for 60-plus years. But if people don't vote, then they have no recourse, no complaint. If the people who don't want it come in mass and 3,000 people vote against it, I think it won't happen. If the people who want it And I would assume that at least 3,000 or 4,000 people in Minneola would shop at a Walmart. And I can verify that Walmarts are crowded. And the one in Claremont now, we have to follow people around looking for them to pull out so we can pull into a parking space. And that's happened at most of the Walmarts I've ever shopped at.
So with that said, keeping with your line of thought, though, you can put something on the ballot as a straw poll. You don't have to, it won't be a binding vote, but could you say, or you could just ask the question on the ballot?
You want a consensus from the
Yeah, if
neighborhood?
you could put a consensus on this year's ballot that said, are you opposed?
Then the council would still have to vote on it.
Right, but that way you would know how your constituents felt if you put it as a, do you understand what I'm saying?
You don't know how the constituents feel? Read the article in South Lake Tablet.
Well, I think so. I think articles on a lot of topics are biased one way or the other, depending on what they're.
Well,
point is-
I'm giving my opinion.
Right, I'm just saying that if you're, I'm just trying to come
I
up
think
with,
it should be on the ballot.
as a binding or as a consensus?
As a,
As a voting item.
would you call it an act?
As an action item or a consensus item?
As an action item? Yea or nay? Let the people vote.
And if not letting the people vote, at least a poll of what the people feel.
Y'all got till August to decide.
Again, having,
Can I have that, please?
as I said before, I do not think it's wise for us to have these, I think there was something else that was discussed at one point, bringing to a ballot. I forgot what issue it was last year.
Chickens.
It was chickens, yes, it was chickens, and somebody said, let's put it to a ballot, and I think I said the same exact thing, that we are voted by the people to make decisions, so we are the ones that have to make this decision.
Yeah, but they're not voting for it. They're just giving their opinion. It's a poll, not a vote.
No, I know,
Not a-
I understand that,
Yeah.
but Joe wants it as a
And I'm-
binding item.
I'm
Yeah.
saying not a binding item.
Now-
I'm saying,
Right, it's a straw, so
Right,
it's a
as a
straw
straw
vote.
poll.
So, one thing that, Joe, that you mentioned on that line of thought, and something I was gonna bring up as well, the way that the council voted for 7-Eleven in the Hills, some members up here voted based on opinion and emotion rather than facts. And we have to make sure that however we vote for Walmart or any other item is based on facts and not
emotion.
opinion or emotion or what we're wearing or what the audience is wearing. Because Walmart, I'm telling you, they will come at us with a legal counsel that trumps our city budget, 100%.
Scott's like, bring them on.
Yeah.
I'm billable.
Yeah. So to your point, when you said Walmart will be here one way or the other, they are going to look at every avenue, every little thing to make sure that from a legal standpoint, they'll be able to get it.
When I said that, I wasn't implying that they'll be here regardless of what anybody says or does or happens. I'm not concerned about that. I'm saying that they can fight it. They have an avenue to take it through the court system and through the arbitration and mediation. And if they want to do that, that's up to them. But I think the people need to cast that vote individually, 1, 2, 3, to 3,000 or so. And that's what I expect would be on the ballot in midterm election.
I think this is
3,000
something we probably should just
people voting.
pause it right now and bring it back after May as a discussion item.
Did you say after May?
Yes, as a discussion item, because you have to like,
Can,
sure.
If it does go on the ballot, does that preclude Walmart from being able to sue us, Scott?
You could sue anybody for anything.
That's what I thought, yeah. So,
And if it goes on the ballot and vote yes, and we vote no, the city votes no,
That's a
then you.
massive lawsuit.
then you'll get a lawsuit, yeah.
But
Then I
that's
hand in
if
my
it's-
resignation.
My
That's
point,
if
my
it's a
point
vote,
is.
a vote, though, a binding vote,
But
not
it's, but
an
it's, but it's no
opinion, not
different,
a-
but it's no
a
different
poll.
than, it's no different than the city agreeing to 7-Eleven, the planner agreeing to 7-Eleven, and council, planning and zoning saying no, and council saying no. There was already precedent set by the people, so there's gonna be problems. And with whatever happens to 7-Eleven, I think that is the minor league compared to what's gonna come with Walmart. So if,
Oh, 100%.
if they win this piece, it could set precedents for that, how they'll play their game. So just testing the waters.
Yeah,
So-
Walmart isn't playing fair as far as I'm concerned, and I don't care one way or another. I understand both sides, and I'm unbiased on this. I could care less if we get a Walmart or if we do. That's because of the stage of life I'm in. It doesn't matter, but I appreciate the viewpoints of the people in that area that want children to go and don't want the crime to come in, and I don't want the crime either. However, Walmart's playing dirty. South Lake Tablet ran another online thing showing pros and cons of who wants and doesn't want it. And I could just hear their words when we were at this workshop, Walmart's words of, oh, this is what it's going to bring. This is the positive thing. And half of them aren't true because they didn't answer me, and they still haven't answered the questions. And I gave them my personal address to respond to me. So they got all the money, and they're going to come fight us either way. So we just need to be prepared and careful in what we do. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd be remiss, just one more comment on that. So if it does go to public vote, we need to remember those residents that are here part-time as well, that will be affected, even if they're not residents, they will not have a say. So again, more reason as to why we as a council need to make that decision and not, in my opinion, put it to general election or general vote.
It's fine. I think it could be, I think we can just, I think it's something to think about, and we'll bring back at a later date.
Okay.
Good, think about it.
Yeah, but do we have enough time, Scott?
Yes, we have till August.
No, what I'm saying, do we have enough time as far as if we're going to put it on the ballot? What is the deadline to make that decision?
No, we do. We said earlier, the ballot deadline is August 21st. You just have to
Okay,
pass an
okay.
ordinance, so.
Thank you,
Now,
thank you.
technically, we could always just table Walmart if they happen to come through until that time, right? From a legal standpoint, can we table this indefinitely?
Not indefinitely, no. You can make reasonable tablings of matters to, as necessary, but not indefinite, yes.
I think they're waiting to see how mitigation turns out. I think that would be their first game, is to see how that's going to turn out, how mitigation's going to turn out. Yeah, that would be a no vote from the top, from Walmart. Okay, anything else? Any final comments? I had a couple. One is just very quickly, I can bring it back. I'll bring it back for the next one. Basically, it's to talk about there's a citrus label tour that Lake County does. All these cities have got citrus labels, crates, labels, and they put it like at the park, maybe Trailhead Park, or they could do it at the library or stuff like that.
Take a look.
Yeah. And Minneola Tangelos actually are named after the city of Minneola, for those who wanted to know. But we have stuff like this. This is our Buster Minneola growers packing from Minneola, Florida. So you would do like a 4x4. I talked to them briefly today. Mark and I will meet with them to get a little bit more information on possibly adding one of ours to it.
Oh, this is great. Yeah.
It's kind of cool. Each city has them, and it's at a park or something. So we can figure that piece out. Second one, just to note, Pam, that's for you.
Thank you,
You have a mayor's meeting in June.
thank you.
Congratulations. Also, this is for you. I will not be going, you will be hosting the chamber breakfast.
Okay, thank
So
you.
it's pretty much, that's something that staff doesn't do. They can assist at the point in time, but it's pretty much, you need to get the agenda raised the money, if you're doing Chosky's or whatever you've got to do for that. But work with the chamber on who you're going to speak, what your thought process is. I can throw something out there. If you're doing the park, maybe you could do something on the
Yeah,
park.
100%.
So there's different pieces on what's going on. The last thing is Leadership Lakes applications are out for class of 2027. I know you were interested in it. I know you were interested in it. We have 2 people interested in it. Can you go through, I know we have people, you don't have a connection except through council. I know we have Orlando Health that sends people. At a later date, we probably need to discuss who can go, who's going to that, or if somebody's going to go to that. It's basically, it's online, or Mark can make copies, I only have one, but these are the dates that it has to be. You can't miss any of the days. You actually have to get biography, and then basically it goes as far as having to, whoever your leader is at your team. Can you print this out?
No, I just want to review it really quick. I'll give it back.
So basically it tells you the dates that you have to be, you can't miss them. You have to get signature from your company that you work for, acknowledging that you can have those dates off now. So that could be a challenge or not, but so we can just discuss it at a later date. Applications are due May 15th for that piece. So I just wanted to put those out there so we can start it. It's been a great experience learning all about the county, and it's got some great things as it comes to an end. But we can discuss that later. Those are the things that I have. Anything else? That would be it.
CRA next.
CRA. So can I get a motion for adjournment of this meeting, and then we'll knock through the CRA right quick?
So moved.
Yep, so moved.
Motion
Second.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public comment? David? Anything? Okay. Approval of the minutes?
So moved.
Okay. Can I get a second?
Second.
First and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Discussion items, Trailhead Park, we talked about this, the first one, we just have to read it. Is there anybody?
Yeah, this is just on there to authorize using the CRA funds to pay for the park. That's why it's there.
So we've had those discussions, and you're going to include this?
Yep. Under
Yep.
Anybody?
Yep.
Any questions over that? Can we get a motion, anybody comments? Can I get a motion to approve item number 1?
So moved.
Okay, can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, establishment of the grant program for the downtown CRA, we discussed it with all the modifications that were going to be included in it. Anybody in the audience? Bring it back to council for a change,
Motion.
for a motion, thank you.
So moved.
First,
I'll second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Conceptual plan for Chester. This is just for the conceptual plan, and this is just approving the conceptual plan, because I will agree with Jennifer, if for some reason this comes back and it's a $7 million project, we want to be able to squash it, so we're just taking baby steps, correct?
Yep.
So,
That's
yeah.
my understanding, yes.
Yes. Okay, so this is just to price out, get bids for the conceptual plan of Chester Street. Anybody in the audience? Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Purchase of streetlights, same streetlights that we talked about a little while ago. No major changes to that. Anybody in the audience? Bring back council. Can I get a motion for approval?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
First and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Public comment. Scott, I do have a question on this. I was looking at this upcoming ballot piece. Some of these CRAs are elected positions. Is there ever going to be a point in time where this CR will be turned over to people who will manage the CR? Will it always be?
I think we discussed that not too long ago, and we decided, I think there's something in there, Scott, that says that we can't
Yeah.
really.
Oh, yeah, it's not like a CDD. Yeah, the CRA, yes, our Community Redevelopment Agency.
Yeah.
No, it's not a turnover type of thing. There is a way, and actually, this was brought up once
No, I was
before.
just looking at Lake Votes back than that, and they had a list of like upcoming positions. It was like, there's a bunch of developments at the bottom of it that they elect people to, and I just was kind of curious.
There's different ways to form the governing body, the agency. The council elected to do it this way.
And that's
for a
fine. So
variety of
it's
reasons.
pretty much it. It can't.
You-
It's not once the CRA gets 80% built out that we can.
I would keep it, just considering of the large pools of money, so I'd rather keep it within council control.
Oh, I'm fine with that. I'm more concerned, like, when the Hills goes 80%, when the Hills get 80%, we have to turn it over to
Oh,
somebody?
gosh, no, it's nothing like that.
Okay, that was my biggest concern.
It's a public agency that,
As I leave now, you start getting those what-if questions, and you're like, oh, crap. Kinda.
The hills are the hills.
So, okay.
now without,
Chase has got that
without getting in the weeds too much, there is an option, you'll see some cities do, that I think you can have up to 2 spots that are not council members, that if you wanted to have, for some reason. Most cities don't do that, we've never had a reason for it, but that can be done. But no, there's no turnover like HOA, and there's no, it's doesn't function like a CDD either.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you for clarifying. Any final public comment? David?
Jennifer?
Any-
Chase?
Chase? Kelly?
Denise? Kelly?
Okay, with that said, can I get a motion for adjournment?
So moved?
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
All of them.